Okay, here's something I have been wanting to do for many, many years. I am going to be making Auntie Fee's green season, her fresh season, with celery, green onion, and parsley, because I am going to attempt to cook through a lot of her dishes. I love her. I do. And you don't know who Auntie Fee is, you need to go follow her channel. Unfortunately, Auntie Fee passed, but her son Tavis is coming into his own and keeping her channel alive as well as moving forward. So I'm excited. I forgot the top, and this Cuisinart, I don't even know how old this thing is. It has to be at least 20 years old, at least. So I don't know where my top is. I'm gonna put my top on and I'm gonna pulse this, and then I'm gonna put it into a freezer bag just like she did, freeze it and have it ready for every single thing. And I think the first recipe I'm gonna have of hers is salmon croquettes with mackerel, just like how she did it. So that's gonna be exciting. Whenever you're grinding, try to cut your veggies a little bit small so it catches, and try not to overfill your food processor. And then just pulse into your desired consistency. Also try to make sure that your vegetable isn't too wet. After you wash it, sort of let it sit in a paper towel or just a kitchen towel so it's moderately dry, so you don't want that excess liquid in your food. Ooh, Auntie Fee. Everything's gonna taste good now. Because Auntie Fee says her wheat seasoning makes every damn thing taste good. Okay, a little bit more. And then I'm going to take this out. I'm gonna put it all in the freezer. And to be continued on our first recipe of salmon croquettes made with mackerel. One final step. So it took me 3 steps to process that little bit. It was 1 head of celery, 1 bunch parsley, and about 1.5 bunches of green onion. But the main thing is it's fluffy, but in between pulses, you should wipe down the sides of your food processor again, so that it all processes evenly and that you have a nice fluffy ground mixture when you're done. So I'll process it one last time. See if I can do it with one hand. Okay, looking good. All right, time to bag it up. I got my wet seasoning from my Auntie Fee recipes, and it looks great. Okay, this is so exciting. The way I'm gonna freeze this is I'm going to make it all flat, get the air out, and I'm gonna freeze it flat. So of course it's not all clumpy, but also it's easier to just break off little pieces. Technically, I could put them in little ice cubes or a little silicone mold, but I'm doing it like the OG. Okay, tell me when.
All the way, everything.
Everything? Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
Okay.
All of it.
So we're giving away some of our baby banana plants so that they could propagate the world. The world! Right, Papa?
The world's going to be full of bananas.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need more bananas in this world. Okay, so it's been about not quite a year since I started my fermented black bean, and I wanted to show you how they look. Okay, first things first, let's give it a smell. Ah, wonderful. Very, very fragrant. Look at these beauties. They look just great. Okay, there's the chilies. These are pieces of ginger. The salt. And they look really beautiful. It's time to start cooking with them. And then all you do is you give them a little rinse-a-roo and then throw them in a dish. So maybe, let me think, not this week, maybe next week we'll do something with them, something delicious. I already have kind of my menu planned for this week, but you never know. Things change. So again, what you want to check for whenever you're fermenting foods and you have something like this, the first thing is the smell test. It should not smell moldy. It should not smell off-putting. It should have a sweet, let me see. This just smells like aromatics, and I can smell the chili. It changed scents as the weeks and months went on. At first, it smelled very much like Chinese cooking wine and Chinese 5-spice powder, Chinese 5-spice. And then it went from that to I added a piece of ginger, and then it sort of took on another fragrance. And then I had put the chilies, and now it's more chili forward. But it smells lovely. There is nothing off-putting about it. Usually try not to use a really clean utensil when you're in here as usual, but you don't want to add any contaminants after you did all that work. So fun was had by all when I made this. And now I have my own organic fermented black beans. I love that so much. Okay, it's really early in the morning. It's about, not that early, it's about 6:30 in the morning. And I wanted to get this video out, so I'm not getting really great light. But there it is. Fermented black beans made at home. Okay, I just took out my Auntie Fee's fresh seasoning that I made. I had it in the freezer. I've been using it. Auntie Fee seasoning, as you guys saw in the video, just has parsley, celery, and green onion. I think the parsley is optional, according to her videos. Anyways, I'm gonna use about, I don't know, 3 tablespoons of her fresh seasoning. And today we are going to be making Auntie Fee's salmon. I mean, she calls it salmon croquettes, but it's made with mackerel. All right. Salmon croquettes. It's not salmon croquettes, it's mackerel. I love Auntie Fee. Okay, I'm gonna put my fresh seasoning back in the freezer, and then we're gonna start the recipe. Okay, Auntie Fee said first thing you do is get the water. She threw her water away, but since I don't know how much I'm gonna need, I'm just gonna reserve it for now. And this is gonna be my little trash can for the bones. So then, I'm gonna get the mackerel out of here. All right, there it is. Okay, she says step 2 is to open them up. Okay, I'm just checking for any little bones. She is very right. You don't need to, and here's my trash. You don't need to worry about the bones. Now, she just did it all slick, and she just pushed it out, but I don't have a cameraman. So let me do that and then I'll come back. I'm just gonna push the bone out like so and put it in the trash. Okay, I cleaned my mackerel very well. I went through anything, a little extra skin or whatever, anything that looked odd. And now I am going to add some of the mackerel water. I'm not gonna throw away my mackerel water because my cat loves to drink mackerel water. So when I'm done with it, my Judith will have it. So I'm adding about quarter cup, I think, for now. She said that you need to check it, so I will. And I also have to find the right spoon that she was using. I have one just like hers. Let's see. All right, let me find that spoon really quickly. Okay, her next step was to smash everything in. Boy, I'll tell you, Auntie Fee was definitely one of my all-time and is one of my all-time favorite cooks and YouTubers and entertainers. She was an original. She still makes me laugh. Boy, she can just pull my mood right up. And she was a very skilled cook. So, I don't know what kind of criticism she was supposedly under. Whether some people didn't appreciate her language, but she was grown, and so are we. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more. It looks drier than I think it looked on hers. Okay, now I can hear it. It sounds more moist. Okay. All right, she said she likes her stuff thick. My big regret is I never got to buy Auntie Fee seasoning. I love you, Auntie Fee. I never tried your seasoning, but I'm sure it was delicious. I do have lemon pepper, and I have also have an affinity for lemon pepper and citrus in my food as well. So we're kindred spirits in that way. Okay, look, I got a spoon kind of like hers. I didn't find the one I originally wanted, but what can you do? All right, let's get to the next step. That's going to be adding the fresh seasoning. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start off with a little bit, about 1 tablespoon, because we want it to look pretty. Okay, I think I'm gonna add the rest, because we want it to look even a little bit more pretty. Okay, according to Auntie Fee. Let's see. And that does look pretty. It does look pretty, Auntie Fee. I think her and her son, Tavis Hunter, I believe is his last name. Boy, they were one of the funniest duos. All of them in that family are just natural comedians. They're really, really funny, quick-witted. I loved that channel. Okay, the next thing she did was add an egg. 1 whole egg. Okay, I gotta be careful. I don't want to get any shell in there. Okay, 1 whole egg. Okay, I'm just making sure since I did it. Broke it in a weird way. I wanted to make sure it had no crunchy shells in there. Nobody's gonna thank you for shells. Okay. Mix thoroughly. If you notice, she always does a good job at mixing. Mixing for uniformity. Right, hold on, I just just a tiny little bit more of this fresh season. No waste cooking. And then we're going to go on with flour and dry season. Okay, the next step is adding the flour. I have just pre-measured 1/4 cup. I'm going to add about half of that to start and see how it looks. I'm gonna add some more. I think I'm gonna go on ahead and add the whole 1/4 cup. At this time, I'm also gonna add 1 loose tablespoon of lemon pepper. I'm using Mrs. Dash, a salt-free, so I'm also gonna be adding, I'm sure Auntie Fee seasoning had salt in it, but I don't know that to be the case, but so far there's no salt. So what I'm gonna do is add 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Then I'm gonna mix this thoroughly. I need both hands. Okay, I just tasted it. It looks beautiful. The only modification I'm going to do is add a little bit of black pepper. I'm pretty sure. I can't imagine that she didn't have black pepper or pepper in her dry season. I don't know. Again, I never bought it, but just a little black pepper, and I'm sure she'd want me to add it because it's mine, and she's just giving us the basic recipe, right? Okay, that's it. I'm not gonna do anything else to her original recipe, and like I said, I'm only taking liberty with the black pepper because she used her seasoning and I don't have any of that. Okay, off to fry a couple up. Okay, frying my Auntie Fee salmon croquettes. You're frying up beautifully, holding together, no issues. So she went on to do another video, I believe, that was called crab croquettes, and it's a very similar recipe. As she always says, she's trying to teach you a concept. So if you had canned salmon, if you had fresh cooked salmon, if you had some other kind of tinned fish or something, the same principle applies. Okay, shoot, my timer's going off because I have something in the oven. Anyway, look how beautiful these look. Perfection. Okay, here's the finished results. Of course, I had to get some fresh lemon. Auntie Fee used lemon juice. I don't know. She had hers in a bottle. I don't know if it was fresh or not, but I know it was fresh lemon juice. But here we go. Let's taste it. All right, sorry about that interruption. That was delicious. All right, my kid wants to go to the corner store, so I had to see what the heck he was talking about. All right, one more time. You need to have this fresh lemon. They're crunchy, tender. The only thing I would change is add less salt. And that's what I get. But everything else is wonderful. I would reduce the salt to maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. All right, but I'm gonna let the mixture sit. Here's the mixture. Auntie Fee salmon croquettes. I've got to keep some for my daughter and my husband when they come home, because I know they're gonna wanna taste it. We're all fans. Okay, so thanks, Auntie Fee. Now I have the seasoning, the fresh seasoning, and then I'm gonna see what the next recipe I'm gonna make. So thank you to Auntie Fee and her salmon croquette, but it's not salmon croquette recipe. Until next time. And by the way, Auntie Fee, this mackerel can was almost $3. So those must have been pre-inflation prices.